And I'm Donald.
So, what did you think about our cool little magic trick? All right, not the most impressive transformation you've ever seen. In fact, you probably realized that Donald's hiding right over here.
Oh, but here at Little Creek, we have a critter that has an even better magical transformation.
Let's go check it out. Welcome to the Little Creek Prairie. We are out here looking for butterflies.
But not just any butterflies, we are looking for monarch butterflies.
Monarch butterflies are really well known for their bright orange colors and also for their incredible migration that they do every single year.
But before those baby butterflies can get their wings, they have to go through an amazing transformation.
In this episode, we are lucky to be joined by our very own high school field biology students. They're gonna come along with us and help us capture some of the footage as we explore the life cycle of these incredible monarch butterflies.
A monarch's life begins as a single egg laid on a milkweed leaf. Eventually, this egg will hatch into a caterpillar. The caterpillars go through several stages. For the monarchs, they go through 5 distinct stages. By the second stage, they start to take on that characteristic black and yellow and white striped appearance. The full-grown monarch caterpillars are quite impressive. These 5 stages are the larval or caterpillar stages of the butterfly development. Once they become a full-grown caterpillar, it is time to turn into a chrysalis. This stage is known as the pupal stage. While they are a chrysalis, the caterpillar undergoes some amazing rearrangements, and out comes a beautiful adult butterfly. Of course, those adult butterflies go on to lay eggs, and this process starts all over again. In butterflies, this is called complete metamorphosis, or as we like to call it, monarch magic. In order to observe this whole process, we need to find some monarch eggs. And to do that, we need to find some milkweed. The most common type of milkweed that we have at Little Creek is common milkweed, shown here. You can see how the large football-shaped leaves come in pairs, where one leaf is opposite the other leaf on the stem. You can know when you've got milkweed because when you break off a leaf, out comes this white, milky substance from the inside. Milkweed is toxic to most organisms, but the monarchs love laying their eggs on it. Finding eggs is a painstaking process that involves carefully tipping the milkweed plant down and looking on the underside of each leaf. To do this, many hands make light work. Of course, along the way, we didn't find just eggs. We also found full-grown monarch caterpillars and other things too.
What did we find?
A box turtle?
Eventually, we stumbled across our very first monarch egg. To collect the eggs, we just collected the entire leaf that the egg was on, and then we wrapped a little piece of damp paper towel around the end of the leaf so it wouldn't dry out. We collected several eggs and placed them in our enclosure and then sat back and waited for something to happen. Eventually, out comes a tiny little caterpillar. And we mean tiny. Now this one here is actually already the second stage. The first stage is even smaller than this. Once they hatched, we had to alter their living arrangements a little bit. Looks like our caterpillars are doing pretty good. They've just hatched, so they're really, really tiny, but now they're gonna start eating and growing a lot, which means individual leaves just aren't gonna cut it anymore. So we're gonna replace those leaves with a larger piece of the plant, the milkweed plant, And in order to do this, we've got a beaker of water that we will put the plant in. But we also put this little lid over the top so the caterpillars, which start wandering a lot, don't fall in there. Like so. I'm gonna pull our leaves out. Stick our plant in here. Then I'll just turn that light on, transfer the caterpillars across, and they are gonna have a feast. Over the next couple weeks, the Monarch caterpillars go from tiny to huge. By the time the Monarch caterpillars are fully grown, they are an estimated 3,000 times larger than when they first hatched. How do they do this? Well, by eating and eating and eating. Sometimes the competition over food is quite fierce. Monarch caterpillars have quite the appetite. In just a few hours, they can convert a leafy milkweed plant into a twig. Not surprisingly, all this eating results in lots and lots of caterpillar turds left all over the ground. Once those caterpillars are fully grown, they'll wander off to a quiet place to set the stage for one of the greatest magic tricks you've ever seen. Sit back and enjoy the show.
We hope you enjoyed learning about the monarch butterfly and the incredible life cycle as much as we did.
We felt like at the end there were no words to even describe the incredible transformation that was happening right before our eyes.
Yeah, so instead we decided to just shut up and jump in here at the end to share some interesting side notes that we learned along the way.
For instance, we showed you common milkweed in this episode, but we also have butterfly milkweed and swamp milkweed here at Little Creek, and the monarchs love these as well. In fact, they eat pretty much anything in the milkweed family, but that's it.
I also wanted to mention a word about the timing. How long did all these steps take? So the egg stage is about 3 to 4 days. The larval stage, the caterpillar, that's a bit longer, 10 to 14 days. We didn't time any of those. We did time the pupal stage, the chrysalis. Our shortest chrysalis lasted 9 days. The longest one went 11 days. So altogether, this process to raise from the egg to the adult, it lasted about a month.
You can easily tell the difference between the male and the female monarch by looking at the hind wings. The males have black spots on their hind wings. So this is a male and this is a female.
Monarch caterpillars also have a silk gland, like many caterpillars. It's just under their mouth, and they will actually spin a trail of silk to help them climb up smooth surfaces. They also make a silk pad to hang from when they're ready to enter the pupal stage.
One thing that surprised us is how quickly the transformation occurs. Unlike moths, which form a silk cocoon around them, butterflies, like the monarch, form a chrysalis by shedding their exoskeleton to reveal the chrysalis inside. This happens surprisingly fast.
Perhaps the most amazing feat the monarch butterfly goes through goes unnoticed. When the caterpillar is transforming into a chrysalis, it has to use this stem-like protrusion known as the cremaster to attach to the silk pad. And it does this blindly. It cannot see where that silk pad is. What you see here is possibly the most precarious moment in the life cycle of a monarch. If they fail to make this connection, the new chrysalis will fall to its death.
Pretty neat stuff, but why talk about it when you can come out to Little Creek and see it for yourself?